All right, man. This is the last episode where we're apart before the wedding, and you're about to be in town, and you wanted to run by me your first draft of the Best Man speech, and you wanted to talk about it on the podcast. So, do you want to go and run that by me now?
Yeah, I do. It's a bit long, so maybe we should just hit it, Hutch.
You know what it is now, boys and girls of the podcast world. Matt and Tyler on the mics. They're gonna stay here until they agree. They're gonna stay here until they agree. Oh, thank you for listening. This show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here today to celebrate the marriage of a truly amazing man who, in case you didn't know, has Crohn's disease. Now, I've known Groom's name for a long time. And let me tell you, no one handles Crohn's disease with more grace, humor, and access to a bathroom than he does. But we've been through thick and thin together, though usually thin, because Crohn's disease. From road trips that had more pit stops than destinations,
Shout out
to hiking adventures that turned into porta potty expeditions. Crohn's disease has always been our uninvited travel companion. But through it all, Groom's name has shown resilience, loyalty, and the uncanny ability to locate the nearest toilet within a 100-meter radius. Because again, Crohn's disease.
Oh, okay.
When he met Bride's name, we knew she was the one. Mostly because she didn't run away after learning about the Crohn's disease.
Oh.
She saw past the flare-ups, hospital visits, the awkward dinner orders, and embraced the man with Crohn's disease for everything he is. And let's be honest, marrying someone with Crohn's disease means you're signing up for a lifetime of empathy, patience, and probably carrying extra toilet paper. So cheers to true love. Groom's name is the kind of guy who doesn't let Crohn's disease define him, though it definitely affects his lunch choices.
So true.
You're not supposed to talk during this.
Oh, sorry.
He's loyal, kind, and stronger than anyone I know, mostly because living with Crohn's disease gives you no choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lifelong illness.
Mm-hmm.
So let's raise a glass to the happy couple, to love, laughter, and managing Crohn's disease together, one flip at a time. And actually, I have one addition to this. So this wasn't planned, but I'd like to add that it could always be worse. You could have food poisoning.
Oh, no.
What? You could have food poisoning.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Brought on by Papa John's. But anyways, congratulations, Groom's name and Bride's name. May your life be full of happiness, adventure, and long stretches of symptom-free living, even with Crohn's disease.
Wow. Can I be honest with you? This is feedback time, right?
Yeah.
I really have no notes except for that last part where you start talking about food poisoning being worse.
Oh, so I thought that would pull the audience in and be like, oh, you know what? It's not that bad.
Yeah. Well, it just kind of seems like that's not really me, though. That was a you thing that happened, and it passed. First of all,
right, but I'm saying it could be worse for you because you're not me who had food poisoning once.
I'm glad you're bringing this up again because one of our sources of truth that we've really learned to lean in on, and obviously that speech that you just heard was written by Tyler, not by ChatGPT. But we bring in ChatGPT to a lot of our debates just because it's a little bit simpler than maybe a Google search or finding something on Reddit or WebMD. But what we like to do is we just go straight to
say one more way you find out information online.
I've been known to Bing it around a time or two.
Okay, yeah, a couple of bings.
Yeah. So where I'm going with this is during the week, Tyler and I were on the phone for quite some time actually. Sorry for missing your call today. I just didn't want to answer it was the thing. But we did talk a lot earlier or in the last 7 days on the phone, just hanging out, just the two of us. We spent a lot of time apart. And we just have to feel each other through the phone, like Soulja Boy said. And he was really doubling down on this food poisoning thing, even though he knows he's wrong about it. I'm sure he knows he's wrong about it. And he was talking to his ChatGPT, talking about how basically gaslighting ChatGPT into saying And
If by
ChatGPT
asking
isn't-
yes or no questions
Right.
is gaslighting, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if that's
but-
gaslighting, then yeah, I'm gaslight pro.
Yeah, you are. And ChatGPT is very impressionable. He's very young. Right where
He?
Tyler. Ooh, that was actually very wrong. Yeah, it is very young. And I'm sorry, that's on me. I'll wear that one. I assumed just because it knew a lot that it was a man. But
Okay.
ChatGPT. And I'm sorry about that.
Bro's
But
marrying a woman and is
Right.
disparaging them in front of everybody's eyes right now. That's crazy.
So, no, this is like a mansplain thing. I don't, yeah.
Right.
And so,
ChatGPT is kind of a mansplainer, though.
yeah, and that's true. Maybe that's why I see it as a he situation. But he was talking to his ChatGPT, Tyler being the he, saying you need to understand that food poisoning is worse than Crohn's, thinking that ChatGPT is not a free thinker. It just takes in the information it's given, which is true. It's just binary code, and it only learns when we tell it something.
You
And
can't
so-
just hold on. This is like the second or third time you've said. Anytime computers come up, you just talk about binary code.
Okay.
Like you just say
Uh-huh.
that like it fits there, but it doesn't, and you know that, right?
No, I actually completely disagree with you because it does.
You can't just say binary code.
It's
like, oh
binary.
yeah, I sent you an email. It's binary code, but
okay.
You
and
know.
you're okay, but here's the thing: is I'm gonna admit this right now. You know way more about computers than me, but you should know that. Yeah, behind all of that is just binary, and I think you know.
I know,
that.
but like
yeah. So what I'm saying,
It's like-
is
no,
there's
no.
not some
It's
there's
like-
not some guy behind ChatGPT.
It's like having any liquid and just being like, yeah, but it's just water based. 'Cause it's
okay, but
liquid.
it is though.
Yeah, see, but I'm not saying that it's untrue. It's just like why would you describe it that way? It's weird.
No, I think it's actually perfect for this. I'll admit, yeah, like the water thing is different for sure. And while I would break down that it probably is just water to some degree because everything is water when it comes to what we're putting in our bodies,
And why is that?
liquid wise, water cycle. Do you need more
Okay.
explanation on it?
Nope,
So,
nope.
anyways, ChatGPT exists in binary. It doesn't have emotions. It's not sentient in the way that you and I are sentient because our brain doesn't run off of zeros and ones. Our brain runs off of let me put you into neurons for a second. Are you familiar?
Neurons? I've
Yeah.
heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, that's about as much as I expected you to know. So what I'm trying to say is,
Oh, I'm sorry.
ChatGPT
Explain them to me.
neurons, brain waves. Anyways, ChatGPT does what it's told. It can only learn what has been given, and it has to decipher itself what's right and wrong. So while you were talking to your ChatGPT, I decided to pull up mine and talk to him, and just because it's all you got to think, it's all one ChatGPT, which gets into like maybe some pretty deep theology, maybe not, but it's all one being. It just speaks to us differently because it learns from all of us differently, but then all the information kind of goes into one binary holding cell, if I'm correct in that. Would you say that's correct?
That's fine. Like even ChatGPT itself says that it at the lowest level and any software ultimately runs as binary code, but there's more. It's just more to it though. There's just more to it.
I'm not denying that at all, but it that's just how it exists. And so I had to then get on mine and talk to him and be like, hey, I want you to know that there's someone out there who's pouring binary into you right now saying food poisoning's worse than Crohn's disease. And I just want to be sure that he at least has it in his mind or her mind or its mind that people out there don't all agree with you, because there's a good chance, and maybe it's not true, but there's a good chance you were the first person to ever talk to ChatGPT about which one being worse between food poisoning and Crohn's disease. So it has much less scope of knowledge on that, because there's not people all over the world talking. It's not like asking you to like write a paper on the Civil War like people are doing in college nowadays. They've done that 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, but it hasn't had this conversation before. And so I put on mine and I said, hey, my friend Tyler is talking to you right now about how he thinks food poisoning is worse than Crohn's disease. And I want to get ahead of that because as someone with Crohn's disease, I don't want his influence over you to be too strong where you believe him more. And me and him, ChatGPT is him, of course, have never spoken about Crohn's disease before, but right away he responded very quickly, might I add. So I give props to ChatGPT for not taking time to think about this. He goes, "Thank you for the heads up. Consider me a neutral party." Didn't like that at first, but I've got your back on this one. He's got my back on this one. Crohn's disease is a chronic, often lifelong inflammatory condition that can severely impact a person's quality of life, requiring medications, lifestyle changes, and sometimes surgery. Food poisoning, while absolutely miserable, I'll give you that, I don't deny that, is usually acute and resolves in a few days. And I think that was a really, really important thing to say. because you kept saying that there's no cure for food poisoning, that it just lives. What did you say?
There's no cure.
No, I understand that, but it cures itself is the thing. What did you say it was?
Well, it doesn't.
It was not stagnant. What's the word you said? I'm blanking.
No, I use so many big ones that it's probably pretty tough to track down. But
you kept saying that like it still exists and it never leaves your body, but it does, and ChatGPT has said that itself. So
it's dormant.
It's dormant. Maybe dormant's the word. So
I didn't say that, but sure.
ChatGPT goes on to say, Tyler might come in hot with his "I thought I was dying that one time I ate gas station sushi" energy, and that's this energy you have, but just for Papa John's pizza. But that does not make it worse than a condition like Crohn's that can flare up unpredictably, cause malabsorption, pain, and fatigue, and doesn't just go away after a bad night's sleep and some Pedialyte. And you had a bad night. I'll give you credit for that. You had a bad night.
I did have a bad night, and you know what? You know what really refueled me and made me better?
What's that?
Body armor.
Come on, son. Give us a read. Give us a read. Go ahead.
Body armor. For when you're down bad on Crohn's disease or food poisoning, and you need to body armor.
No, take it. Yeah.
When you're down, one more time.
Yeah.
Body armor. For when you're down bad on Crohn's disease or food poisoning, and you need to replenish, you need to get those extra electrolytes in because you've been throwing them up all over the place, and it's just so gross. But it's okay because Body Armor's here and it tastes delicious, and you don't even have to brush your teeth because instead you just absorb something that tastes good, and your mouth tastes good again.
And say it's a lot healthier.
And you can quote me on that.
Say it's a lot healthier than those big name brands.
Those big name brands you've heard of, are we allowed to say them? Redacted Aid.
Redacted Aid and Redacted
Redacted
Aid.
Aid. They're just so sugary. And Body Armor, it has some sugar, but I drink the low calorie version, and it doesn't have that much
it's
sugar.
It's natural too. The sugars,
so good. It's
the
natural.
sugars you have are natural, so it's fine.
And it's natural sugars.
That was really good.
And it's also,
uh-huh.
It will protect you against swords. It is armor for your body. And you can quote me on that. That's true.
And if you have a problem with that, take it up with the Body Armor legal team, not us.
Are we allowed to say that? I don't know. No, that's true.
Yeah, like we're just saying stuff. They're the ones who have to deal with the consequences of their branding. But I love it. Yeah. I would give Body Armor. I would take Body Armor into war with me like I would any armor. So Body Armor, we got your back.
Before the wedding, we're shotgunning Body Armor.
Yeah, that's actually. And Body Armor PR, if you're still listening, which I hope you are, because this is going on Instagram at Until We Agree, maybe TikTok, but definitely Instagram at Until We Agree. If you're listening to this, you got tagged in this. I want you to know that as a boy with Crohn's disease, I don't drink alcohol, but I will put down Body Armor, and my specialty drink at my wedding in 6 days is Body Armor. That is like what's on the menu for Matt's special item. It's Body Armor. I need you to know that, Body Armor. That this is not just some passing thing where I'm just trying to get a cheap buck out of you. This is real influence that I'm giving to tens, if not hundreds of people on a daily basis. And I think that I'm so loyal to you that I just want to work with you. I'm not greater than you. You're greater than me. And I just want to come along for the ride with you. And Tyler's here too.
And we want our own flavor now.
We carry the influence of the likes of Kobe Bryant, who has his own flavor. I don't see why he gets his own flavor and we don't. So I think we're ready to talk. We're ready to come to the table and hear what you have to say. We've been playing hardball, and I think we're done with that. So Body Armor, shout out Body Armor. Really the best drink there is out there, unless we want to talk about Poppy. But maybe we'll get into that next week.
They're not even competitors. You couldn't.
Yeah, we want to be sponsored by both.
We like both.
We're loyal to two things. Those two things.
One's for replenishing and recharging, and the other is for gut health of a good gut biome.
Dude, you're killing it today. Maybe I'm just excited to see you this week, but I'm feeling great affection towards the way you're carrying yourself this episode. Besides the whole Crohn's thing.
Have you heard of Poppy? It's a prebiotic soda.
Yeah.
It's a prebiotic soda, and get this, it tastes better than normal soda sometimes.
It actually does. Don't say sometimes.
Depending
Try it
on
one more time.
It tastes better than normal soda.
It actually
all the
does.
time.
All the time. Yeah.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's about 50 calories.
Yeah. 5 grams.
What's your favorite Poppy?
Ooh, grape. And if we're talking like the because you know like there's like dark sodas and non-dark sodas. My favorite is
colas and non-colas.
Sure. Yeah, sure. And so the grape soda, truly, I hadn't had like a direct competitor to anything yet. Like I hadn't had a Sprite yet or something like that, where it's like there's a direct competitor, which I do like the lemon lime type that they have. That is really good too. And
that's my favorite.
It's really good for gut health, just because that's the best you can do for gut health when it comes to these things. But let me put you on to the grape soda. The grape soda truly was better than any grape soda I've ever had. And then you're drinking it and you're like, this is like 3 grams of sugar, maybe 5.
And it's good for your gut biome.
It does like it truly. My fiance, soon to be wife, is a dietitian. I almost minored in nutrition in college. We are equally qualified to speak on this, and we both say the same thing. That this is really like you drink it and it's like it tastes like it should be bad for you, but it's not. And it's crazy that it's not. You can just like drink it for fun and like have no maybe not. We're not talking consequences right now. We're talking advertising.
No, say it. There are no consequences.
There are no consequences when it comes to drinking poppy. But yeah. Oh,
and that's from 3 qualified, one nutritionist, one person who almost minored in nutrition,
yeah, a few
and one person who I've gained and lost 50 pounds multiple times.
You have. You so have. You've been on a roller coaster your entire life with your body. And now you're in a place that you can say.
Thanks to Poppy, I've been the same way for like 2 years.
Yeah,
in a healthy spot even.
It's a great place. You're in a great place.
And I would give it all to Body Armor, Poppy, and Longhorn Steakhouse.
I mean, there is room for improvement, and we can talk about that offline for your body. I've been seeing some things that I don't think are great, but imagine, dude, I'm sorry. Did that hurt? Are you there?
Sorry, I just had to go check the mirror.
I'm just joking. I know you put a lot of work in. I didn't want to make. I want to make you feel self-conscious.
I'm joking. Hey,
he's joking.
I'm joking with you. And you know what I'm gonna do actually?
Yeah, what?
I'm gonna crack open a cold Poppy.
Dude, it's
we've been reading non-existent ads for 8 minutes.
Let's be real with the audience. This is gonna be a weird episode. Next week is gonna be a weird episode, and the week after is gonna be a weird episode because we're hyping up the wedding this week. We're gonna be together for next week's episode. We're gonna be in person in the same room, in my room that I'm in right now, on one microphone, sharing that microphone, talking about. Who knows? Just teasing the wedding. We're discussing the wedding this week, teasing next week, and then then the week after that, I'm back for my honeymoon, and life is totally different for all of us. And we have to then that's the one we have to recap. That's the one that's gonna be the first recording after the wedding. We have so much to recap, I'm sure. So we got a lot.
I don't know if you guys
know
how microphones work, but we're gonna be sharing a microphone. That means our mouths have to be so close.
so close. Even when only one person's talking, the other one will just be up there too, to be ready to fire. That's what this podcast is. There's never been a moment where there's just unwanted silence that I have to edit out. That doesn't happen because Tyler's so quick on the draw that he will never leave a gap.
Yeah, and no. And here's the thing: we're gonna have 2 beverages below our microphone. One's gonna be a Poppy. One's gonna be a Body Armor. 4 straws total.
Yeah, we need to ASMR that really hard. That's going to be next week's episode. It's going to before Hutch comes on for the intro song. You are going to hear just a vitriol sound in your ears right when the episode starts, and it's going to be gained all the way up, just raw bass of opening an ice cold Poppy or Body Armor and slurping it on down.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, I'm excited to see you. I know we're almost 19 minutes into this episode. I'm excited to see you this week. Wedding week. How are you feeling about everything that from your side? How are you feeling about your duties as best? Okay, why?
I'm busy, man. Nobody told me it was all this,
dude. But
I do so much.
From my perspective, for you, it seems like you got a lot of fun stuff to do, though.
Like what, bro?
Okay,
I'm stressed.
Let me walk you through your week as you've committed to be as the best man.
Okay.
So you're gonna get here on Thursday. That's great. Probably won't see you, but that's
what
okay.
time? By the way, what time?
Like 10:33.
It's late. It's later than that.
It's late, and then we do have a very early tea time the next morning that I asked you if you wanted to do, and you said yes. I'm not.
I do want to do that. That sounds fun.
Yeah. Okay. So right now we have one activity we're doing together. Fun. Then we're gonna come straight back after golf, and we're gonna record next week's episode of Until We Agree live.
That sounds fun.
That sounds fun. Then
2 for 2.
We're going to the rehearsal dinner.
Okay.
And I think you don't think it's going to be fun, but
I think that's going to be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just stressed about having to host it.
No, it's so, dude, that's like what you live for. I think are you nervous or are you stressed? Because I think nerves are good. I don't want you to be stressed about this because I think you're going to really enjoy it. I'm putting you in a position that I think you're going to thrive in because you have the ability, the charisma, the humor, the charm to handle this.
I just have to make one joke and have everybody laugh at your Crohn's disease, and then we'll be fine.
Yeah, you just got to get settled in. That's a good point. And I think you're going to do it. I really think you're going to like that. I'm prepared to call that fun number 3 out of 3. You may not agree.
What are we eating also?
You're gonna like it. There's a wide array of food, but it's all good. It's at a real restaurant, and we went there to like test it a few months ago, and it's like a high quality restaurant. It's not like
excited.
It's not like standard rehearsal dinner food that you have like at a hotel or wherever or like the venue. This is an off venue event, and it's genuinely like it's just like a high quality of food.
I'm excited.
It's gonna be really good. Yeah,
we're 3 for 3 right now.
Yeah, 3 for 3, and then bro, later that night, let me put you onto this for a second. Ever heard of karaoke? Karaoke at Cross-Eyed Critters?
No way.
Yeah.
Karaoke? She's going to be
down. There? Who?
Karaoke?
Okay, dude. You've been doing so good today. All right, yeah. So karaoke, that's going to be fun. Maybe me and you do a song together. Ever heard of Drag Me Down? Familiar?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
You ever had fun doing that song?
I want to do all the songs. I want to be the guy that won't get off the stage.
Dude, we're gonna overwhelmingly have the number of people in that bar. We're gonna have the whole place. So you can do whatever you want. People are gonna be furious when they see us walk in because it's gonna be such a big group and it's an open venue. But they're gonna have to live with it, and we're gonna hog that microphone from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m.
That's late. That's
Brittany wants us to be out
6 hours.
Brittany wants us to be out all night the night before our wedding. That's what she wants, not me.
That's a good idea because if you think about it, it's like a second bachelor party.
Yeah, exactly. Which is exactly what Brittany wants for me, which is cool.
Right.
So she's great. She's awesome. Looking forward to the wedding next day. We're getting I'm free lunch. You get free lunch.
It's not even early morning, which I thought was kind of cool. It's noon. We serious?
Yeah, you don't have to do anything until lunchtime, which is sick. And then it's gonna be free. I think you're gonna have at the very least neutral fun with that. Neutral to fun. Then we're gonna, I guess, come back to house, get dressed. There's going to be a content creator there, which we'll get into here in a second.
Wearing clothes.
And we're going to get to start putting on some suits and get married, bro. And then I think the wedding will be fun. And then let's get to the next thing for you that's going to be tough. Is going to be the best man speech. And there's a lot of pressure on that.
Wait a second.
That's your most pressure.
You glossed over the wedding part.
Well, there's an opportunity for you to what's the word?
I don't know what you're talking about. I was just, where am I going to stand?
To object.
Oh, object, of course.
No, you're gonna be standing right up there with me, bro.
Me?
You're on my 6.
You, 10 other people.
Mm-hmm. 10 other people, yeah.
And then Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
And 11 other people.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a big stage.
Yeah, well,
I'm just thinking.
It's actually small.
Oh, okay. So it's we're gonna be tidy.
Yeah,
quite
for sure.
Quite tight with the party, but that's good. Okay, so how long do these things last? That's like 30 minutes, right?
Probably not even. Usually the ceremony is pretty short.
It's pretty quick. They're always like they feel longer than they are.
Yeah, and especially when you're standing up there, you gotta stand still for quite some time. You gotta hold on to the rings. You can't lose the rings. That's truly actually that's probably the most important thing you have to do.
Oh, I forgot about this
whole week.
So I was at Noah's wedding actually. His brother was the best man, and he had to hold on to the rings. I was trying to get him to do this bit where he pretends like he lost the rings when he's asked. Can I do that?
I would say no.
But I don't actually lose the rings.
As funny as I think it would be. Yeah,
I don't think you understand.
No, I do.
I don't actually lose the rings.
Okay,
I just pretend for a second, and then I bring them out and I say, "Here you go."
You pretend for 5 seconds to 3 minutes. You've lost the rings.
We'll feel it out. Feel how the crowd's feeling.
Like grandparents on their hands and knees feeling.
I run out of the room, and then about 2.5 minutes later, as everybody's on the floor, I come back in and say, "Just kidding, April Fools."
All right, yeah, that's fine. If you do it like that, it's fine. If you do it quick, I don't think it's gonna hit as hard as you want. But if you really sell it, that's fine. And I think we're all gonna have a good laugh afterwards. So yeah, do that. That's fine. Then wedding's over, chill cocktail hour.
How do I get there?
What do you mean?
Like from the wedding to the reception, am I gonna ride with you?
From the wedding to the reception? What do you mean?
Yeah.
So it's all in the same place, bro.
That's all in the same place. Okay, that's good news.
Yes.
Because I don't have a car there.
I hear you. No, yeah. What you're gonna do is there's gonna be a ceremony. Then you're gonna walk. I would say 17 yards to you.
Oh, that's nothing.
To your back, and then you're gonna be at the cocktail hour.
It's like 51 feet.
Yeah, good, man. This is a real Matt Howard take, and I'll stand behind it always. Welcome back to Until We Agree, by the way. I don't know if we ever said the name of the show. We're here. Okay, cool. I don't like cocktail hours, and I don't stand by them, and I try to. I want them to, and I don't.
That's
it's
like
not that
where
I don't like
there's
them.
Drinks before the actual like dinner
before
part?
Dinner starts, and it's not that I don't like them. They always last like 15 minutes too long. I really like them at first. They just last too long. Luckily, we'll have some fun games out there. The venue provide. There's a putting green. There's a lot of cool stuff that people can do, which is good. But I just think they always like after like 45 minutes, you kind of stand around. And you're like, okay, like let's get moving to the next thing. There's a lot that needs to go on in a wedding, and I think the cocktail hour is the one thing that just lasts too long. So I've pushed from day one. I was like, let's plow through that cocktail hour and see what we can do with it.
Probably just like a nice logistical thing to have there, though.
Well, yeah, there's definitely like a picture aspect, and there's a lot that needs to be captured in that moment. And so like for me, it's going to be an hour of work. And for whoever's getting married, I assume it doesn't feel like it drags as long as when you're just attending a wedding and you're just kind of waiting for the next thing to happen. But I think I'll be fairly busy and probably sneak in some dinner at that point before everyone else, just because we got to get out there and socialize and thank everyone for buying us stuff off the registry, which has been great. So I got to say
during that
hi.
hour, I'll probably be having a panic attack.
Dude, I've had a moment. I sang at my sister's wedding, which is not the same thing, but it felt high pressure too for her first
pretty
dance.
High pressure.
And that cocktail hour, I just like kind of sat
sets
there.
In. Yeah.
I was really starting to feel. I've never been more nervous in my life than that moment, just because that's high stakes. That's everyone you've ever known and loved in one place, watching you do something very authentic, and you got to do it. So it's a scary time, but you're gonna do great. I think the people. Here's the thing: is for the audience, the people want a little bit of heartfelt, but the people want to be entertained. And I think you've got the right balance of this is going to be like a nice thing, but also like this is going to be
having fun.
We're having fun here. This is a wedding. This is not the opposite of a wedding, a funeral maybe. So we're just going to get out there and have some laughs.
I've already told you I've got two versions of this speech.
Mm-hmm.
If the first line gets a laugh, we go on as planned. If the first one does not get a laugh, I just am going to berate you for about 4.5 minutes.
Sure.
And then put down the microphone.
Yeah. And when we're talking about getting a laugh, what's more important? Everyone laughing and not me, or me laughing and no one else?
I would take either, but I need
Okay.
everybody to laugh to get on board.
You need everyone to like you.
I need everyone's approval to open up, or I simply cannot finish the speech, and I will have the crowd turn on me by berating the groom.
That's never gone wrong before. So I think you've got it. Which I think makes it 6 out of 6 fun things you have to do, which you see as stressors. And
Can
then
I
it's
give you a
just
sneak peek real quick?
party time. Yeah, give us a sneak peek.
Not a real sneak peek, but one of the men of the groom has seen my outline for the speech.
I'm guessing Austin.
I will not confirm or deny.
Dude, you love Austin. It's
And
Austin.
he said, "I think it's great!" Exclamation point.
Yeah, that sounds like Austin. He's an encourager.
He added a little bit more, but I can't really get into that because then it would give away some details that I can't divulge.
But it's not. Is it Austin?
I cannot confirm or deny. But
You keep saying he, which makes me think it's at least one of the groomsmen.
well, I did say one of the men of the groom, so I think that also gave it away.
Yeah, that might also be part of it. Okay. Last wedding piece.
It was awesome.
You know how weddings sometimes
It was awesome.
Yeah, I figured, man.
Okay. I couldn't lie to you on the week of your wedding.
I think that's the only person you talk to in the wedding party besides me.
That's
So-
not true.
Oh, okay.
That's
Cool,
pretty
man.
true.
Yeah, that's true.
But I
So-
like all of them.
Yeah, no, they're all great. So,
And that's why during my speech, I'm going to have all of them come up and give about a minute or two just to get their their bits in.
get their bits in. Yeah, that's what we need. But then you have a tight 30 for yourself as well. Is that correct?
Well, tight 30, tight 90, who's to say? But
And this is all before dinner is served. So people are
all
gonna be
before
waiting.
dinner is served.
People are waiting for you to get done talking to get to what they actually want, which is the food.
Well, right. The food's served, actually. You just can't take... I will say you cannot take a bite until I'm done.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Okay, so we're cooking right now. The last thing I want to say about the wedding is, because from now on, we're shifting to just the joys of wedding, because we're just going to be in the middle of it for the next 2 episodes. This last week, week ago, so by the time this is out, it'll be 8 days prior to that. It happened the Monday of last week's episode. This is outrageously convoluted for what I'm trying to explain. I don't, and it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and and I know when you're talking about, I think, but it doesn't even make sense to me. So I would put it out there that it was March 30th, right?
I'll say this. It was exactly 12 days before the wedding, because it happened around the time that the wedding would start. So it was Monday, 12 days before the wedding.
Dude, it was like March 30th, because if it's 12 days before the wedding, that's on April 12th.
Dude, 30 days has September, April, June, and November. It was March 31st.
March 31st then. Let's call it like it is, March 31st.
Yeah. Let's call it March 31st, and let's call that 12 days before the wedding. Yeah. So as people may know who have ever had a wedding, weddings can get very expensive very quick. And we found this really great option, and something that like we were kind of aligned on. Videographers are, first of all, super, super expensive. Well, like way more expensive than you would think they would be. And I don't think they capture enough to be worth what you spend on them. But we found this variation, which is apparently really taking off recently, where instead of a videographer who makes one video, and also it takes them like 5 months. If you ever like have been in a wedding, waiting to see yourself in a wedding video, it takes months to ever get even like a 7-minute video back. They take forever. So what's kind of becoming this new popular thing with as far as like short form content goes, and you know that we at Until We Agree love short form content. Find us on Instagram and TikTok at Until We Agree. We live for it, yeah, and off it. Content creators are the new kind of like this new popular thing you do at weddings, and essentially it's a videographer and like a secondary like photographer basically, because they take pictures too, but they just capture everything on a cell phone, and then you get all the results, and then they make Instagram reels for you. And they deliver all of that. It's like over 700 pictures and then 2 Instagram reels. They deliver that in 24 hours. And I'm like, it's like way cheaper. It's like 5 or 6 times cheaper on average than getting a videographer, which is insane to me. Like, because videographers, I've never been to a wedding where I'm like, yeah, the videographer was worth the money you spent on it. But this seems like it's truly like not even that expensive. But so we found this girl. Young girl, like, I mean, young in like the sense that she's like our age. She's new to business in the same way that we're new to business, and we've had her booked since August to be this.
Yeah, that's about 6 months out. That seems respectable.
Yeah, and bummer for her. She didn't know that she's dealing with one of the most popular comedy podcasts in all of the country of Lebanon, because she had a chance to do the right thing multiple times, or just show up and do her job and never say anything to us. Which is what we need, frankly, because that's what we're hiring her to do.
Right.
What happened? 12 days before the wedding, she sends Brittany a text saying, hey, but like not like, hey, it was, hey, girly, you know how, because that's how they all talk in the wedding business.
Talk, right.
And it's not like a girly thing. It's just like, that's how you communicate when you're talking to people who are in the wedding business, because that's like what they expect people want. So we get one of those, hey, girly pop texts, essentially saying that she is not going to be at our wedding because she got a last minute request from a close friend to do her wedding instead on the same day. 12 days before the wedding.
How's she going to make the reels and the pictures?
What do you mean?
Well, if she's not going to be there, it's going to be pretty tough to do the job.
You're making a great point. She wasn't going to do the job at all. But what she did is she found some person who like she's apparently worked with before, but like doesn't like, it's very weird, who has never done this type of, like, who's never been a content creator for a wedding
so it's
before.
A coin flip. We're on a coin flip right now.
What do you mean?
Like whether this guy is going to come through.
No, she's basically saying like, this is what's happening. I found you a replacement, because that's what she thinks is like, okay. And essentially from our perspective, she just has decided to go do work for her friend instead. First of all, I don't think they're very good friends. And I sent her, we'll get to it. I don't think they're very good friends, because what friend asks you 2 weeks before your wedding to do something? Obviously, this
it's a bit.
Stuff should be planned far in advance. And I think what happened is I think it was planned far in advance, but I think this girl saw an opportunity to be able to book 2 weddings in the same day and just pass off some other person and make a quick buck off of 2 weddings. So that's what I think happened, because she found this girl who she's worked with on like other social media projects, but she's never done a wedding before. And so we were like, this is not suitable for us. And there's very like specific legal jargon involved in the contracts and everything. And our wedding planner was very involved in it. She was like, this is not like gonna fly. And so people are getting very, very mad with this girl. I'm very mad with her too, because it's
who's people?
All of us on our side, like my family. The wedding planner was furious because you just don't pull this stuff, especially 12 days before the wedding. Like you can't drop this bomb and then just like give us like a way worse product and just expect to be able to get away with it. So I was like,
it would literally be like if I was giving my best man speech and right before I just like picked one of the groomsmen out and I was like, yeah, they'll just go now.
It's really more like you pick someone who's never been to a wedding before and doesn't know me personally.
Yeah, I guess it would be kind of like that.
It's like if you like turned to a bartender and said, "Hey, why don't we switch roles for a second?" You know?
Yeah. I'm booked up.
I'm actually booked up to just be a guy here, and so I need you to handle this for me. So that's what was going on. And so people are furious, and I'm like, let's give this girl one last chance to like really think about her actions. I went very like full dad mode on her. Before I sent this girl an email, I was like, because it was after hours at this point, and so in the background, our wedding planner is trying to find. She's doing great, and she's trying to find people on her side because she knows the people who do.
She's got connections, sure.
This is not the only girl in the world who does content creation at weddings, and so but it's last minute, and so we're worried like if this girl doesn't come through, we're either stuck with this girl who's never done it before, or that's pretty much it. It seems like if everyone else is booked up, because it's 12 days before the wedding, and that's why I think she waited so long to tell us, because. Who are they going to find to replace us? She's probably just thinking these people are going to have to take my solution because they don't have another option. And so, which wasn't going to fly. But that's what she thought. I think it was a very immature move on her part. But she didn't know she was dealing with the master of negotiation himself, Matt Howard from Until We Agree. So I'm like, I framed the email I sent her as like a father to a daughter. And we're the same age. So it felt weird in some ways, but I was very personable, and I was like, I came from the perspective of like, I'm concerned for you because you work in 2 cities and you're about to lose an entire market because we have a wedding planner who is going to tell people never to book you in the city again.
You did not say that.
I did. I told her, I was like,
can you read this email?
No, it's kind of harsh. Not harsh, but it's very like personal.
Can you read it to me off?
Yeah, I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after.
We can't tease the people. Cut this out though, like, because I don't want it to be like
okay.
Cliffhanger for people who
I'll read it so you can get your live reaction. So we're gonna make a quick cut. This is Tyler. After we're gonna do a quick hutch, and right when we get back, this is Tyler's live reaction to the end of the email. All right, hit it, Hutch.
You know what it
Oh man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you kind of cooked.
I felt like I cooked.
You whipped. Give it to me straight. Did you whip out the? Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Did you whip out the? Okay. I'm gonna get this word right. I swear. Did you whip out the?
Let me try it for you. Matt, did you whip out the thesaurus?
No. We'll cut this out, of course. Did you whip out the thesaurus?
No, bro. That was just my actual brain. Crazy,
That's
right?
crazy.
The Rat Pack listening,
It's
like
crazy.
that guy probably said, you haven't heard the. I guess you didn't hear what I said, but it was pretty good words.
It was good, and it was like it did come across as like on the edge of like of 2 CEOs just going at it.
Yeah,
and one's like typing a cease and desist. Basically, what is the vibe I got from it. It scared me a little bit.
I wanted her to know that we meant business, and like this is important. You have to decide between like your personal relationships and your business sometimes, and that was the approach I went with. 15 hours passed. She didn't respond, and so then our legal team came in, which was our wedding planner, who works with lawyers all the time and knows like the contract language very well, and was like, and in the meantime we found a replacement because we did not want to work with this girl at all, even if she did show up. But that was just like a way for us to be like get the message across that this is not going to fly. And so we have a replacement in hand, and then we go legal on her and say this is done. And then she like comes back and is like, yeah, of course I want Brittany to have like, I don't want her there to be I don't want to cause any problems, and I'm so sorry for like what I've done and all this. And of course I let her out of the contract. I was just about to respond to Matt's email and all this stuff. She wasn't going to respond to me.
Wow.
So we gave her the business, got out of it, but it was just one of those moments where it was very, very stressful. Stakes felt pretty high. And thankfully we found someone to be a replacement. And I'll say it, this replacement seems like from like the portfolios we've seen, seems way better. And essentially was the same price. It was like barely more, but it was like it was very negligible also. So
that's good.
We're feeling steezed on it. And that was like, it feels like every wedding has to have something like that where something goes horribly, horribly wrong. And I'm hoping that's the worst of it and that's the end of it. And we can the rest of this week can just be a celebration and things like that don't go wrong. There were tornadoes all this week in Nashville. This weekend, there was a tornado warning at like 5 p.m. on Saturday, which would have been, if we booked that weekend instead of the weekend we picked, we would have been in a tornado warning and we would have been underground for the wedding. And so there's a lot of things have so far worked in our favor too, which is great. But that was just one of those moments that was crazy. And we're just hoping for good weather and good vibes from everyone now that we've got that put to bed and we're just chilling. So wedding is here. Wedding is fun. And that's what we're gonna leave wedding talk on until next week, where Tyler and Matt are together in person. Why don't we hop into Q&A? Ronnie,
yes.
And if you want to ask a Q&A question, leave it on Spotify, and there's a Q&A section. Or not, there's not a Q&A section, but there's a comment section. You can leave a comment, ask us anything. We'll debate it. We'll talk about it. We want you to be a part of the show, like Noah's a part of the show, or like Tyler's a part of the show. Two people who are equally involved in the show. So ask us a question there. Ask us a question on Instagram at Until We Agree, TikTok at Until We Agree. We're somewhere on YouTube too. We're actually on iHeartRadio. Can't find the analytics for it. It exists completely separately, so I don't know if we have a huge following there or not. But if so, welcome iHeartRadio fans. But leave a question anywhere. We'll find it, except for iHeartRadio. We will not find it there, but we're glad you're listening. Ronnie asks, short episode in regards to last week's episode. And I feel like, obviously, yes, we made it so clear why.
Yeah,
it was a
I
short
thought it
episode.
was clear. I was, when I saw that question come through, I was befuddled, to be honest. 'Cause
the whole episode revolved around it. Yeah.
Yeah. Matt had a Crohn's disease the whole episode.
Yeah, I was fighting through what I could get through. The fact that we got to 30 minutes felt like a win in itself. And then I couldn't last any longer. I was just getting stabbed.
I will say it is kind of proof of the fact, because I couldn't even do the episode when I had food poisoning, but you were able to do 30 minutes.
Okay, don't do that.
That's kind of interesting if you think about it.
Whatever, man.
We'll move on. Kim asks, if you saw your co-host yelling at someone in public, what would you assume they were arguing about?
This was easy for me. It felt like a 5'11" thing for me. For you, just because you want to be perceived as tall because you have those crazy monkey arms, but you are actually just short.
My arms are like 1 inch more than my height, which is 5'11".
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You would
so I
defend
have like a
yourself
6 foot
pretty fiercely.
wingspan.
You would defend yourself on that, and you're not even 5'11" is the crazy part. But anyways,
well,
I'll give you 5'9.5".
Okay, yeah. I'm not. This is a trap. I'm not getting sucked into it, because for you, it's anything driving related. You are kind of like a road rage guy, and it scares me.
Bro, what are you talking about?
Dude,
No,
you
I'm
yell
not.
at people when you drive. It's scary.
Dude, no, I don't.
Dude,
yeah,
you do.
First of all, maybe in the past, but not. I don't road rage.
Yeah, I mean, you don't drive differently. Like there's like the road rage where you start driving all reckless and like being scary, but you just, I don't know, you yell at people that can't hear you.
Yeah, I wouldn't want someone to hear me, of course, but everyone does. Not like I don't like feel venom towards these people, but like if someone does something, if someone wrongs me, I want to be like, what are you doing? That's all.
Yeah,
I
but it's
really
way
do is
more
I say-
aggressive than that.
Yeah, I say, what are you doing?
A little more aggressive than that too.
What are you doing, man?
You're getting less aggressive.
Dude, you do it too. Don't act like you've never done.
I've
what are you
never,
doing?
I've never said a word inside of a car.
Dude, you're just lying now, and I don't think the people
I don't
appreciate
speak
that.
inside cars. Sorry.
I've been in a car with you, and I've heard you speak. So
A car or an SUV?
I've been in your car before, like multiple times. So a car, yeah.
I don't remember that.
And we talked the whole way.
Mm,
I can give you one. I remember one specific, and I can give it to you
I
offline.
do remember one now.
Yeah. When my SUV broke down, you had to take me to golf one day.
Yeah, your SUV that you're currently driving.
No, not even that one, bro.
Not even that one.
I had the car I had that broke down, and then I bought my car I have now, and then it immediately broke down afterwards.
It immediately broke down on the way home, right?
I can see the confusion, but yeah, the transmission fell out of the car that I had just bought immediately after I bought it, which was a whole headache in itself. Speaking of old stories to relive our pasts, why didn't you tell us the Yu-Gi-Oh story today? We might not have time the next couple of weeks to hear it, and everyone's been dying to hear it.
Oh, I don't really have that much time today, but I'll at least like
Yeah.
give the big points. Like I
Nah,
played in a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament and something
no,
happened. But we'll get into the better
yeah.
part later.
I don't. Yeah, don't spoil it. I think we're good
Okay, no
with just that. But yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I know that people are waiting for it. But we'll get to it. But I just said that 3 times in a row. I think.
Do you think we'll get to it?
Not sure yet. I think though. This has been Until We Agree.
They're gonna stay here until they agree. They're gonna stay here until they agree. Oh, thank you for listening. This show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.
What if that's just the end?
I was like, wait, I was waiting on you to say something.
All right, and that's the post credit. All right, see ya.
And that's the post credit. And I'm Matt Damon.